Hey guys, welcome back to OverTakes. This is Misfit, and this is going to be part 2 of our Pacific Conference Western Division preview. Today we are going to talk about the LA Valiant, San Francisco Shock, and the Vancouver Titans. First though, thanks to everyone who's out there in YouTube land. Thank you for all of your support you've given us. Please feel free to hit a subscribe and a like if you like what you're hearing. Thanks for all of your support. Once again, let's dive into the rest of the Pacific West. Here you go.
Let's move on to the Los Angeles Clippers, Bruins, Chargers, whatever you want to call them now. Then the Valiant.
Yeah. KMFDM.
KMFDM.
Hey, at least it wasn't Limp Bizkit.
Right. KSFPX.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this team, we're going to talk about the Los Angeles Valiant. Can we talk about the Valiant for more than 5 minutes?
I don't know. Like, I'm looking at this roster and I'm like...
We're not big on contenders, so it's like...
I don't really know that much about any of the guys that they've added.
I know 3 of them because they played on the Mayhem.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes. Before that whole thing got blown up.
I just don't know. Team.
All right, so yeah, the tank line is whatever. I mean, McGravy's okay.
McGravy's decent. I don't know that much about Gig. He's probably... Well, actually, no, So your off-tank is going to be McGravy. Because Dreamer and Gig are both main tanks.
Yeah.
Which one is going to be better? I couldn't tell you.
We'll have to wait for the matches.
Probably, from what I've heard more about Dreamer than I've heard about Gig, so I'm imagining Dreamer and McGravy are going to kind of be your main tank line. Is that... I mean,
I don't know.
We'll see. Then you have
Rain, who was on the Mayhem last year. Yeah. Lastro and Slur. Doing a lot of Liquipedia on this one, guys.
Yeah.
Basically, one of the best guys that can absolutely go off is KSP on Widow and those kind of heroes like that. It's just... And KSF was okay last year. Shax is okay. They got bottom 2 written all over it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing.
The synopsis. For anything to work for this team, they gotta just... I don't know, do things that I never expected, because I don't expect anything.
Right. I mean, obviously their floor is bottom tier, but at the same time, what's even worse is their ceiling is like
15.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just don't see, even if they put everything together as best as it can possibly go, I just don't see them having the talent and everything that they need to truly win.
Yeah. That's the thing.
And beat these other teams with all of these experienced guys and just really incredibly talented players. I just don't think they have the talent.
In the conference that they're in, it's
in
not going to happen.
The division especially, too.
Yeah.
Like the conference and division that they're in. It is going to be absolutely brutal for this team to get anything.
And
when you have to play... What? You play each team twice in your division?
Yeah, and you got to play San Francisco and Vancouver and Gladiators and even Dallas. Ugh, man.
That's 8 games right there that could be just complete and utter 8-game blowouts. Like...
Yeah. And you're talking confidence going in the shitter, like, instantly.
Oh, absolutely.
You know... You get off on the wrong foot, and this team is done.
Yeah. I have very little confidence in what this team's going to be bringing.
I see them maybe getting 2 wins.
For
the first half.
The first half, yeah. 2 wins at the most.
Yeah, they're like 2-12. Maybe if you're lucky, 3.
Yeah. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if for the overall season if they only have 2 wins.
Yeah. They might surprise a team here or there.
Right.
But just looking at it, it's contenders. It's a contenders team that might do something in contenders. Mm-hmm. But here, I don't see it. I really don't. I mean, it's just sorry, Valiant fans, but I mean, you can call it budget, you can call it what you want, but it's just the roster nothing screams at me as, okay, this guy could possibly do something like out of the ordinary. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah. I don't think we need to talk about them really too much more.
Yeah, I mean, this is most likely a bottom tier team.
Yeah, you're not looking at anything. They could be building towards something in the future. They might have a plan. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if we're totally wrong about this, please give me any reason to not be wrong about this.
Yeah,
I want to see it because I hate to see bad teams.
So do I don't like that either.
Anybody that can give us a reason to not feel this way, I really am genuinely curious.
Yeah.
What your reasoning behind that would be.
And we're talking about making it to the play-in. We're not talking about making it to 17th.
Right.
Squeezing out 6 wins or something like that. You could maybe make if you're an extreme Valiant fan, for 16th place. Above that, I'm going to negate every shot you have just because of the division they're in.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not beating the Shock. You're not beating Vancouver. You're not beating Dallas. Maybe once.
Maybe Dallas. Dallas is the only team you probably even remotely have a chance against because you're probably not going to beat the Gladiators either.
Yeah.
Because regardless of anything else the Gladiators do, they're just going to outplay you with just their tank line and their
supports
and just there. Not to mention whatever their DPS can do at that point.
Will probably be something against them.
Yes, against this team. Yeah.
Your Battle of LA is not going to be great this year.
No.
Which is unfortunate because those were kind of fun.
They were, for sure.
I don't think we're seeing that this year. I think they're going to be bloodbaths.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's all we need to talk about the Valiant. Mm-hmm. Bottom 3 it's screaming at me. Like, yeah, if you wanted a bad team, here you go. Because I've been doing they can make the playoffs. This is one team I definitely looked at and said no. And maybe it's because I don't know the players, but just doesn't feel like anything's going to click.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much out of this team. All right,
it reminds me of Washington last year.
Yeah, exactly. I think Washington will probably finish with a better record than the Valiant, which isn't saying much, honestly. Let's move on to the team that we will probably be seeing making another deep playoff run this year, and that's the San Francisco Shock.
Opposite end of the
what Valiant. More can we say about this team?
Yeah.
We know everything we need to know.
Yeah. They got rid of Nevix and they picked up, let me pull it up really quick.
ANS,
another DPS player. Mm-hmm. They're just going to
This team's going to roll.
Yeah.
100%, they're just going to roll.
Yeah, and like we said, in our little hot take thing with them, they have a guy for everything.
They do.
You have Striker, you can do this and that. Okay, so they brought ANS in to be like a Widow specialist, so now you can have Striker concentrate more on other stuff. Mm-hmm. That he's good, so he doesn't have to worry about the Widow. And you have him playing Reaper and whatever else possibly. If Tracer comes back, you got 3 phenomenal Tracer players.
You do.
between him, Sinatra, and
Rascal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can play Sinatra or Striker over Rascal.
Sinatra or Striker, because most likely we're going to see a lot of Rascal playing support, at least to start.
Yeah,
because
he'll be playing the Baptiste for sure.
He'll be playing Bap for sure. I will be absolutely stunned if we don't see a lot of Rascal playing Bap.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of stuff you saw in the playoffs with them.
And the other thing with Rascal is he's going to be your guy that new hero comes out. Okay, he's gonna just grind that character for
minus maybe a tank
2 or 3 weeks and be a god at them. Like, it's unreal.
Yeah, I mean they're just solid.
Has no weaknesses.
I mean, yeah, the biggest weakness on a team could be the tank line.
Yeah,
and it's not bad by any stretch.
Right, like I would say that there's there's certain situations where Super is better. There's certain situations where Smurf is better. I think they're both very good at opposite things. But I think that they're not. Neither one of them is elite at one specific thing.
Yeah, but the one thing they got going for them is they got an elite off tank.
Exactly.
He is the new age off tank too, Choi Gilbin, where he can play any of them. He's not just a diva. He just doesn't excel at Roadhog. He can play Roadhog. He can play diva. He can play Sigma. He can play Tracer. Whatever. If you want to tank with Genji, he could probably do that.
Right.
That's going back to the old days when you could run whatever you want. But
right. Yeah, oh god. Yeah,
I actually had that happen in a match. That's where that came from.
Yeah, I remember. But yeah, I just don't see this team not being truly great again. It's just, I just don't even think it's feasible for them to not be elite.
If they finish below third, I will be, no pun intended, shocked.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They're just too deep. They got too many guys that can do, and they're all versatile in some kind of way.
And you can't even, this isn't a team that I feel like will be affected by, winning it all last year.
No.
They want another one. They want to be as dominant as they possibly can be. Because I think they all kind of understand that as long as they're just going to have that hunger until the team falls apart.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I break it up. Yeah, that's what I see from this team. They will never be satisfied. No, there are going to be times where they're going to become complacent, and that's why I think that there is possibilities that they can fall to 2 or 3, but they're definitely not going to fall below that. And then on top of that, when it really comes down to it, and they really have to grind and get to where they need to, they don't. Yeah, exactly.
It's really what it amounts to. They're gonna have those moments where they get a little stupid in the middle of the season. I mean, they lost to Houston last year. Mm-hmm. There's gonna be. They lost to Houston, right? They lost to someone it was either Houston or someone.
I believe it was Houston. Yeah.
But they're gonna have moments, but overall they're gonna just do what they do, which is pretty much own the game.
Yeah, and they're gonna be the Kings again. I mean, they proved it of why they are that way.
Yeah, and it's a lot of that falls on Krusty.
Mm-hmm.
You have the best coach in the league. They kind of have that, like you said, they have the undying hunger. Okay, yeah, we won one last year, but what about this year?
Exactly.
What about next year? You know what I mean? It's it's just this constant.
It's that Jordan Bulls mentality, that
Patriot way.
Say it, the Warrior, the way the Warriors were for a few years. It's just that we're not satisfied with anything but winning another championship.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't. I mean, playoffs are playoffs, and things can happen in metas with this game, especially with a game. You can have metas. It's not all going to be set in stone, but they have a meta-proof team.
I mean, if just as looking at it, if from as neutral as possible, and if you were to gamble on it type thing, this team would have to give you the absolute lowest return.
Oh yeah.
For betting on them, the type of bet where it's okay, I'm gonna bet $100 for them to win it all. I can win 10.
Yeah.
I put in 100 and I get 10.
Yeah.
If they win.
They're like the 90s Bulls with that, Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure, you could bet on them.
But why even bother?
Yeah. There's no return on your investment because they're going to win.
Exactly. And that's just where they're at.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much all we can say about this team.
I see them.
I like their color change, but I also hate it.
I hate it with a passion.
It looks so slick, but at the same time, damn Raiders.
Yeah, fucking silver and black. Yeah, they're the only team in that area with that color scheme.
Yeah, they will now.
Yeah. The other team's going to be panhandling on the 15 in fucking Vegas. Yeah.
Mark Davis is going to drown in the Bellagio fountain when he kind of drafts one of these guys.
He's going to rise up and take his true form. He's going to look at a fucking anime. He's going to come out of the water like a fucking demon.
But the most unintimidating demon ever. It's just going to be like that fucking mud spirit from Spirited Away. You're just gonna be like, what is this blob of garbage?
Boy, he's got a bad haircut.
Exactly.
So it's
blob of garbage with a bad haircut.
Bowl cut. Yeah. They look good though. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't. I will choose not to own them because of the intention that was placed there.
Yeah.
Fuck fair. Oakland, and we can move on.
All right.
And fuck Kansas City, too. I did not go there earlier, but...
Fair.
Okay.
All right.
So let's
move on to the last team in this division.
Don't want to get my ire up. I have to root for the fucking 49ers. God damn it. That's like rooting for the devil. Oh, man, I do not like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll make that deal, though. This time.
I mean, I have to root for the Chiefs because I can't bring myself to root for the Niners.
Yeah, you have other reasons.
I do. Fuck Steve Young. That's all I need to say.
Yeah. Fuck Kansas City. Fuck them stealing the chop. Fuck them naming their city after the other city across the river.
Do hate that so much. Oh my god. And watching any of those games was just torturous. Anytime I heard that stupid chant, I was just like, ugh.
It's my college team's chant.
So cringe-inducing. I'm sorry, even though it's your college team, even when I hear them do it, it's very cringe-inducing at this point.
Well, yeah.
Fair.
Anyway.
All right, let's move on to our last team, the Vancouver Titans.
Speaking of
for some reason, people are really underrating this team and thinking that they're not going to be a top 5 team. Okay, I get that Fisher has been he's been a problem, for sure. But you can't tell me that this team can't go out and pick up some schlub to take his place and still be a top 5 team with the rest of this lineup.
Yeah. Is it bad if I say right outside the top 5?
That's fair.
6.
But I mean, there's some people that are dropping them to
15th, 10th,
9 and 10, and below that even.
I don't think Fisher has enough personal pride where that's not going to happen.
Exactly.
The only thing is that there's also been a lot of reports about last year. As much as we want to romanticize how much they were together, it was like the long-term relationship kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They all kind of got sick of each other. It seemed like. from what the things I've heard and seen. You know, there was infighting. There was stuff going on with Bumper and Tizzy. I don't know. It was time to move on from Bumper. I mean, he wasn't the greatest, and I think they should have kept Tizzy, but the thing that worries me about this team right now is if Fisher can't play what he likes to play and things don't get opened up for him, or they don't play behind him or something like that, he gets fissury. Mm-hmm. But like you said, you could get another tank. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll be able to pick somebody up. Kaiser, anyway, just for an insurance plan. I mean, on the whole, though, I mean, they're going to be good, guys.
Yeah, this team is going to be good.
Don't buy if they fail, I'm going to be shocked.
Absolutely. I would be stunned if this team falls apart completely to the point where they don't even make the playoffs.
Or if they have to
it's just not even the realm of, or even our play-in. I just don't even put it in the realm of possibility, because the rest of this team, despite Fisher, just taking him out of the equation, the rest of this team is still so good that they're gonna be good. The one thing that I could see that could affect them is they have an absurd travel schedule, and I think they're going to be a team that is going to be affected by that the most.
And people are wondering why they picked up Rouge Hong. I think that's one of the reasons why.
Yes.
Just for a backup. Mm-hmm. You play spot start him, after a long road trip, or, you need to put him in, because that's stuff that we're not factoring in really like we should.
Yeah.
Some of it.
For sure. But at the same time, I do think with this team, it's going to be a major factor, because they have to travel. Their travel schedule
they're
is
the opposite
insane.
of the Justice.
Yeah.
The Justice have to travel to, Toronto, I think it's as far away as, or maybe Florida.
Toronto and Dallas, I think.
Yeah.
That's the furthest away that they go. But, I mean, these guys are going cross country in just the US, then they're crossing the Pacific Ocean 3 different times.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah. And it's and they're a team like Houston has, for some reason, has a month break in there. There's just some of the weird scheduling stuff, but outside of the schedule, you can't sell me on the fact that this team isn't good. Hacksaul's amazing. Somin Sue, Stitch, Janu, Slime, Twilight. Then you throw Fissure and Rouge Hong in there. I mean, Rouge Hong is kind of,
he's definitely in the downward part of his career, but he's still going to give you at least serviceable play time after those long road trips and whatnot
when it's needed. And I think he's also a presence on the team.
Oh, he is a player coach for sure. And just his leadership, everything is going to be really good for this team.
Yeah.
But
it's some of the intangibles with him more than his gameplay right now. Mm-hmm. Where they might have needed that, because they were all like I said, I heard rumors of them, fighting with each other and all that stuff. He's the kind of guy that it feels like they can kind of squelch that and nip it in the bud, whatever you want to call it. Get rid of it before it happens. And it might be a good thing for Fisher, because I don't know how the dynamic worked with those two in Seoul, but it could be a thing where, a veteran, a legend veteran kind of, hey, let's go out on top. Let's put all the bullshit aside and let's just go kick everybody's ass.
Exactly. And I do think that their coaching staff is not gonna, I think they're gonna do everything in their power, and just as their team structure and everything just points to them making the most of getting Fissure. And if it doesn't work out, I don't think that they're going to hesitate to cut bait with him.
Yeah.
As soon as there's anything out of line. And I feel like that they've made that very clear to him.
I think he understands the situation too.
Exactly. They're basically Like, this is going to be a Patriots type situation where they could either get the most out of him, like a Randy Moss, where everybody thought, well, why are they doing this? Like, he's just gonna disrupt everything and be terrible and just and just completely just fuck everything up. Or
he could be the Randy
Antonio
Moss.
Brown, and he comes in, plays one really good game, but fucks up, so they cut bait with him right away. It's going to be one of those two things, but I lean more towards the Randy Moss situation, where he plays his best, and this team is almost unbeatable.
Yeah, I think I kind of am leaning the same way. As much as I've said my feelings about Fisher,
this is really the only place I could see him really making a solid comeback where he plays to his full potential.
Yeah, it honestly, if you really look at it, it is the spot that they needed to take up to another level. Tizzy was decent enough for stage 3 and 4, mostly 4.
For when you needed him.
Yeah, to play Orisa, because Bumper was just not.
Oh my god, Bumper's Orisa. I was better at Orisa than Bumper was.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were. But yeah, that's the thing. I think, and I also think that's why Bumper hasn't been picked up yet.
Yeah, because I think a lot of teams have figured out that he's got shit aim,
and you got to dump tons of resources into him. Yeah, Fisher's going to demand them, but Fisher also
he's more calculated with his aggressiveness.
Yeah, it's what Ed said. Bumper is stupid with his aggressiveness, and Fisher is calculated. But yeah, as much as I want to write them off for the Fisher thing, I can't.
You can't.
Because one of the main reasons is Twilight.
Yeah.
That guy pulls shit out of his ass. I mean, how many times does he pulls Bumper out of his own ass? How many times did he do that last year? Come on.
Oh, man. Like, so many times where you're just like, Bumper is for sure dead, and then all of a sudden he's at, like, full health, and you're like, how in the fuck is that even possible?
Yeah, and there's Twilight over there.
Yep.
And
Twilight's just standing there waving.
Yeah. Hi. You're welcome. Thanks. Then the next person. Thanks, Houston.
Right. Twilight is basically the Baptiste voice line. Thank you, Baptiste. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. He is the embodiment of that fucking voice line. He just enables so much for this team.
Yeah.
And then you got to factor in what you're going to get from their insane DPS line.
Yeah.
Like,
Summon Sue Stitch
and so stacked.
And Haxel are, at me, they're one of the top 3.
Oh, absolutely. Stitch, Haxel, and Suman 100%. Yeah. And then on top of that, you have probably one of the best off tanks in Janu.
Yeah. And he was kind of underrated towards the end of last year, I think, some of the stuff he did. He saved their ass so many times playing Sigma, like in the last few games of the season,
absolutely.
like in the playoffs. He's fantastic. I just can't. I can't say that they're going to be terrible. No.
I think there may be a game or two to start the season where they're going to look bad and people are going to instantly jump on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, honestly, the earlier they can have a really bad game, the better. Because I feel like a really bad game for this team is going to kind of galvanize them to be like, what do we need to do to be better and fix that? Because honestly, worst case scenario is that they come in and they just roll from the beginning and they face very little adversity.
Right, like they did last year. And then San Francisco comes up and is like, sup, you want to go?
Exactly. So I think the fact that they're going to play San Francisco twice really does make a big impact because they're going to have to, and it's going to be at different times than it was last year. because they were like, it was like the very beginning and the very end of the season when they played each other played each other last year. So it's like it didn't matter at those points. Like they weren't really that impactful of games. So
minus the
minus the stage playoffs and stuff.
Regular season wise.
Regular season, yeah.
Yeah, I think minus the travel thing, and I don't think Fisher's going to come in hinged now. I'm leaning towards the other way. I know that's weird for me. I usually don't. Yeah,
I think he's got to know that this is his last shot. If he really wants to make this his thing, and this is his career, then this is it. Like, if he fucks this up, he's done. No other team will ever pick him up, and he is done as a pro gamer. He can probably go stream, but
he can go stream
as far as competing, he's done if this doesn't work. So I think that is going to play a factor in for him and what he's going to do this year.
Well, if he doesn't, then next year we can have a team with Aim God, Fissure, and Envy, and see what the fuck happens there. It would probably be the most cohesive team in the league.
Right? What? Yeah. Watch. Jesus
Hatred
Christ.
does certain things.
Right? Good God.
But I see them top 6. I see them maybe 7-3 or 7-3. 7 and my math is off today.
7 and 8 to
no, not that bad. So
I would say
I want to say like three losses, 4 tops.
Yeah, so like 10 and 4, 11 and 3.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm leaning with this team too.
Yeah,
for the first half, I'm thinking top 5 probably to end the season.
Yeah, for sure, and
top 6. We'll say top 6 to end the season.
Well, yeah, for 6, they're going to be,
but they're not going to be in the play-in. Like this,
they're going to be.
Just don't see it.
They're going to be there.
Yeah,
I'm going to throw this out, and people can hate me. If the Gladiators could do that last year, there's no way this team can't do that this year. If the Gladiators could somehow maintain 4 and 5 with their tank line falling apart and not playing mediocre at best and all the shit they went through, you mean to tell me that this team can't do that? Yeah, they're in. I mean, they're certain, and plus, I just keep looking at it going, Twilight, Haxel, and Slime and Janu are going to be down in the... No.
Yeah, no.
In my mind, I was buying what people were saying, and then I'm just like, you know what? The rest of the guys on this team are so good, I don't think it's going to happen.
Exactly.
It's just not.
Literally any other team, 100% I could see it. Other than the only other team that it wouldn't derail is the Shock. But I don't think they would have picked him up in the first place. But just hypothetically, there's one other team that it could work out on. Every other team, he would absolutely destroy, and they would be a mess.
Yeah, but exactly.
This team, it just disturbingly works.
And Jae Hong is whatever he's going to. I think he's there for a lot of other things that people don't count in. Mm-hmm. You bring a guy in like that sometimes just to keep the ship afloat / maintaining course.
Exactly.
He doesn't necessarily have to do a lot on the field, but off the field, he's doing more than anybody sees. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Jake did last year.
Yeah, I kind of see him in that role.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to do it for Vancouver and...
Division of the Pacific Conference.
Yes, the Pacific Conference West. That's going to do it for the show for this week, or at least today. We have any other updates from Jeff or anything crazy, we'll definitely come at you with that, talk about it, especially if it's an OWL update. All you guys out there in YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Please hit a like and a subscribe. That would be great. Hit the bell for alerts. It gives us, moves us up in the rankings, so to speak. Also, they changed the algorithms and all the whatnot with how they rate videos on and how they put them in your feed if you're not subscribing. So we want to get some of these other guys that aren't subscribing out there in so we can talk more. Especially, outside of here, in the comments on Discord, which definitely go down into our description. It has all of our social media and all that kind of stuff where we're at and where we're hanging out. One division left, and we are 2 weeks away from the season. It's kind of hard to believe.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And we are going to come at you with some stuff. Just a weird... We will probably have a stream before the season starts. It's just that the Super Bowl just happens to be on the Sunday
before,
which we usually do the Sunday stream. So look for something that week. We will definitely do something live. We'll definitely, we want to get you guys in, talk live. But we're big NFL fans, and there's no way I'm trying to do a stream against the Super Bowl.
Yeah, definitely not.
I don't want to ruin their ratings. Yeah, we just
they might not pass the season or the series finale of MASH.
Yeah,
because that's still somehow the bar.
I don't know how that was the bar. It was so terrible at the end. It was awful. Anyway, well, then Monty can go tweet about how the league's going to die now that he's not there.
Exactly.
Still not dead yet. Hey, and guess what? We're not dead yet either. Guys,
sir.
Also, if you're in podcast land, thank you very much. Please hit a rating on however you do it on whatever podcast of choice catcher thing that you listen to it on, Spotify, iTunes, etc., and what have you. Thanks a lot. We will talk to you guys on the next one.
Catch you guys the next one. Later.